I know the Rashad Evans fight was extremely satisfying. How satisfying? How thrilled? Because I expected a battle, to be honest with you and Shogun Rua. And I was like, all right, now maybe we're going to see some of Anthony's jiu-jitsu, his ground game. I'm interested to see this. They're both well-rounded. What's going to happen? And I'm not complaining, but shit, man, you made short work of a legend. Tell me about immediately after the fight gets stopped. What's going on? What's going on through your head?
I was kind of shocked.
Yeah, right.
I was shocked, and I don't mean this. I don't want to be disrespectful to Shogun because I respect that guy so much, and he's been so respectful to me since then. He hasn't given any excuses. He just said that I was just better, and I really respect that. But I was surprised at how everything went exactly how it was supposed to. You know how it is, Matt. You get into a fight and you think you know how something's going to go, and then it goes in there, and then nothing is the same. Nothing's how you expected it. The speed is different. They don't do what you expect them to do or whatever. And everything went exactly as I had planned it out in my head. Everything that I tried worked. Everything that almost every single thing that we talked about doing for Shogun, I was able to do in such a short amount of time, and it all worked. So I was almost shocked that it was, I don't want to say that it was so easy, but I was just shocked that it went so smooth.
Anthony, too, I have to ask you, you're fighting Volkan Oezdemir on October 27th. Now, Jimmy Manoa is scheduled to fight Glover Teixeira. I think Glover's hurt and has to drop out, so Manoa has no fight. And then what do you tweet something about, let me know the flight information, like you're ready to jump on that card in September?
Yeah, if they need me to, I'll fight them both.
That's a terrible idea.
It doesn't matter.
You can't do that because you're going to fight the number 2 guy. Don't fight a lower-ranked guy when you don't have to.
Well, I mean, my brain doesn't work like that. I don't. The numbers don't matter. If
that's true,
they need me to step in and go fight, I'll do it. I'm not doing anything else. I'm just hanging out.
He's pouring concrete. He wants to go smack somebody.
And he does have confidence, but look at Frankie Edgar, Brian Ortega. Like, that really derailed Frankie for a little while. Once in a while, that fight you don't expect.
It did.
So you're
and I don't assume that the UFC is going to pull me from the Volkan fight to go to Brazil, but I guess my point is I will if that's what they need, and that's I don't have any problem doing that. Obviously, I have a fight coming up, so I'm not blowing up the matchmaker's phone, begging for it. But I wanted it to be clear and known that if that's what they need, I'm there.
Yeah, you throw your name in a hat. No, is that a saying, by the way?
Yes, it is. Throw your name. Of course it is.
Okay, sometimes I say sayings. I'm not positive that they're
I
sayings.
do that too. I do that too all the time.
You making up shit.
Yeah, but you're ready to fight anybody they put in front of you.
Absolutely.
And Anthony, this is now Volkan. He kicked a lot of ass, man. Like with Jimmy Manoa and several other guys, where he's a badass. But then he fought DC, and just styles make fights. So the way DC fought him, and he utilized his grappling, and he smoked him. You know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those things where people have short memories. You are fighting a very, very dangerous guy.
Coming off a loss.
With one of the worst nicknames ever. I'm not, listen, I love Lionheart. That's something that, I'm an old school guy. It reminds me of something that it reminds me of both like Braveheart, it reminds me of some Van Damme movie. But No Time is just, I don't want to be a dick, but fuck that shit,
not
man.
A great...
Anthony, you got to win just because of that nickname.
Yeah, that's my nickname in bed. Yeah.
Jimmy.
Yeah, so you're fighting a guy, because here's the thing. Let's just say you beat Volkan Oezdemir, and I do think you can beat Volkan Oezdemir. Gustafsson is hurt, and people hate the way I say his name is Gustafsson, but it's fun to say that way. DC is not fighting light heavyweight until he fights Brock. There's no way he's doing a light heavyweight. So let's just say you win this fight. Do you think that there's some type of an interim belt fight set up between you and Gustafsson?
I would imagine so. Here's the deal. I don't worry about everybody else too much, but if I go in there and I do what I think that I'm going to do, and I finish Volkan, and I do it devastatingly like I think I'm going to, I don't even, DC, even when we ran into each other in LA, he made it a point to mention that, I'm like one of the only guys that hasn't called him out, because I think it's a waste of time. I don't want to challenge DC to a fight. I don't want to challenge DC to anything other than doing the right thing. And I've said this before, the game was good to DC, and no one held up his journey So when I go in there and I do what I do, I don't really care who has the title. I don't care if it's vacant. I don't care if DC has it. I think it's his responsibility
Sure.
to sign on the line and give me my opportunity or get out of my way.
But you're right. But there is a reality to guys being a little bit more vocal really does garner interest, and the powers that be do kind of notice if there's an interest in somebody. Like, look at how fast Darren Till has kind of jumped up over everybody.
Very true. Very true. But I don't want to waste my shot. When I take it, I want it to mean something.
Sure.
And like you said, I don't think that DC's ever coming back.
Agree.
So I don't want to challenge him to a fight because that's a waste of time. I want to fight whoever has the title that's willing to want to fight for it. So I don't know if it'll be an interim title or if maybe that'll be the time that DC decides, all right, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm not going to hold up these guys any longer. And I'm going to vacate the title, and then whoever me and whoever else can fight for it.
And Anthony, how much better do you feel at this weight class compared to 185? Because I mean, it's your action, your fights are speaking for itself, but themselves. But I fucked that up. But I mean themselves. But no, listen. You're looking phenomenal at 205. How much better do you feel than 185?
I'm feeling great. I can't stress it enough how I just wish I wish other guys that are struggling would give it a shot. You
right?
You bring up Darren Till. I think Darren Till would be phenomenal at 185 because not only is he he'd be just as dangerous, but he would feel better. And it's not just the night of the fight. It's the 10 or 8 weeks that I have in camp leading up to that, where I'm not draining myself and I'm not miserable, and I can just focus an entire training camp on getting better and never worry about what this goddamn scale says. It's just one thing that I just never have to worry about. And it's okay to go into like a skill building exercise where it's just me and Mark and we're just walking through shit over and over and over again. I'm not able to do that when I fight at 185 because I need to be burning calories and losing weight.
Right.
So, and I'm able to get enough rest because I'm not having, if I have one of those skill building practices, then we have to add another practice because I wasn't losing enough weight during that training session. So I'm actually able to rest and recover a whole lot more. And I've noticed I'm not nearly as sore. I'm not nearly as grumpy. I'm more in tune with what's going on around me as far as practice and training. And even in the fight with Shogun, it was weird for me to really focus on what he was doing and really getting him to react and really kind of steering the direction of the fight instead of just going in there like I normally did at 185 and just putting my foot on the gas and going because I was already drained. I was exhausted. I just went in and just acted like a buzzsaw and just tried to punch my way through a brick wall and hopefully they fell down. At 205, I can really focus on being a smarter fighter, and I think that those are the two things that I've really shown in the last two fights is I have the ability now to focus.
Well, it's funny you say that because a lot of guys, when they move up in weight, when you look at, like, Gaslam's a smaller middleweight, but he's still doing really great. It does hurt other guys, but you're not even a small light heavyweight. You got a 2-inch reach advantage over Oezdemir, and you have a 4-inch leg reach advantage, so it's not like you're not going in there as a small guy either.
And that kind of stuff was what makes me feel so goddamn stupid. Like, I don't know why I was so worried about it for so long. It took, had I beat Thiago Santos in Brazil, we wouldn't, it goes back to that. If one thing was different, I wouldn't have made the move because there wouldn't, but that terrible feeling of loss and knowing that I'm better than that is what really forced me to go down or go back or to go up. And I just didn't care about if they were bigger than me. And then I get here and I'm like, Jesus, man, no one's bigger than I am,
Right.
And it's funny, you're saying you want to put that, like, you want more fighters to learn from that or look at how you're doing. But, I mean, look at guys, like you said, Kelvin Gastelum. Look at Robert Whitaker. I mean, now he's the champion. I mean, these are all guys that went up. Anthony Rumble Johnson. These are all guys that at one point were the biggest in that weight class or big for their weight class. They had mixed success. They went up and they became just world beaters.
And Diego Sanchez has fought. He's fighting as a fucking bantamweight women's fighter now. He's been in every single weight class. I think that guy has jumped up and down, and he's amazing in every division. It's fucking incredible.
I love Diego.
It seems to me it would just be a lot more comfortable to not have to cut that kind of weight the night before a fight or the 3 days before a fight. There's no way that can make you better cutting that kind of weight, just to be a little bit heavier when you're standing there fighting with a guy.
No, not at all. And I didn't even realize how much fun fight week could really be. These last two fights was my first experiences with like actually enjoying the week of the fight. Like there wasn't, you know how you feel, Matt, when you're cutting weight and you just, you know, you don't want to go anywhere. Like it was cool to go out and check out Germany and eat at the restaurants, you know, and check out the culture. Like I wasn't able to do any of that stuff before.
Have you noticed a lot of attention from the fans now that you've been on this really impressive run?
Yeah, it definitely on social media. That's definitely blown up, and you know, I get noticed and recognized a lot more these days, and people. I just notice people care. You know, I don't know if I'm getting recognized anymore, or if people just approach me more. But everyone's been super cool. You know, I've been taking a lot more pictures than I did before. That's for sure.
Well, look, man, good luck, Anthony. You're fighting Volkan Oezdemir Saturday, October the 27th. And it's a fight that I'm really looking forward to. Again, he's a dangerous guy coming off that terrible, terrible loss to DC. But my prediction is this. You're right. Cormier will never come back to light heavyweight. He's going to fight Brock. That title will be vacated. Sorry. And then if the winner of this fight will be put up against somebody else in what will become the light heavyweight title fight.
That's what I hope happens.
I'm guessing it's going to be Gustafsson.
Sounds good to me.
Well, if Gustafsson's healthy, I'm guessing it's going to be Alexander Gustafsson. If not, I can't see him maybe on TV.
I would imagine it'd be. If I was going to make a prediction, I'd imagine me versus Gustafsson early 2019.
Dude.
Yep.
I'm watching it
fight
for sure. Anthony, we love watching you fight, dude. We would and if ever in New York, please hang out with us in studio.
I'm gonna make sure I make a trip of it this camp.
All right.
Awesome, man. Awesome. We'll get a slice afterwards.
Good talking to you, man.
Sounds good to me. Take care, guys.
All right,
Take
Anthony.
care,
Take care.
Anthony.